Call to order the Historic District Review Board meeting, October 15th, 2024. Can we have a roll call? Each member state their name, please.
Elizabeth Wright.
Kathy Glasser.
Patricia James.
Martin Mayer, present.
Thank you. We've established a quorum. Can we stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We need to discuss a time when we're going to elect new members.
So your first agenda item is election of chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. So since it's so late in the year, we would just want it, because normally it's done in February, but we haven't had a full quorum in a while here. So I just wanted to know what you all wanted to do, if you just wanted to wait until next February, if everyone was okay with the chair and vice chair that we have right now. Of course, I'm the secretary.
I'm okay with that. Anyone have any objections? No? Okay. We've established we're going to wait till next February. Are there any public comments?
No, they're not.
No? Oh, okay. You got up, I thought. Does everyone agree, has everyone read and consent to the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Someone make a motion that we accept the agenda.
I move that we accept the agenda.
Second the motion.
Okay, agenda is accepted. Has everyone read the past minutes and have any corrections or additions to that? No?
I didn't.
No?
I didn't see it.
Do we have to vote to accept them? Someone make a motion to accept the past
Make
minutes.
a motion that we accept the past minutes.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Unfinished business, we have none. New applications.
Sure. The first one is for 526 Tazewell Avenue, and the owners are Wayne and Debbie McMasters. And they are looking to remove and replace plywood and wood trim from a bay window. They would like to replace it with AZAC molding, AZAC fascia, AZAC colonial outside corner, and AZAC rolled outside corner. The design will not change, and they are not touching the actual window. And as you can see on page 2, I put the materials and everything. This is legal conforming use. And I put the Historic District Overlay Design Guidelines down there for you. The applicant is not here, but he did give us a lot of pictures to show the damage and everything. He's coming to you, and why this application is on is because he's changing material.
Is the applicant?
So you said they're not here to ask questions?
No, the applicant's not here, and he did not tell me to call him. I can try calling him, and maybe he'll answer.
I was going to say, we have everyone else.
Let's see.
What's his name?
Hello?
Hi, is this Wayne?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Tracy Outen from the Town of Cape Charles. I also have the Historic District Review Board here. Are you available?
Oh, very good. Thank you, Tracy.
Yep. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna turn it over to them.
Okay.
So you are applying to replace the wood around the bay window.
Yep, it was replaced apparently in 2016, but it has since rotted. So it's pretty extensive actually at this point.
What is the material on the rest of the house?
I think that it's like concrete clapboard, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So this bay window is the only thing that's wood?
I mean, the porch rails are wood. All the windows were replaced in 16. The windows seem to be in good shape. There's a deck on the back of the house on the second floor that's wood, but I think that's it. So the porch, you know, the railing around the porch, and that railing is got some damage to it too, but I just figured we'd this bay window needs to be done, you know, ASAP, so I figured we'd deal with that first and then, you know, tackle these things one at a time. But I think that's the only thing that's, you know, wood. The rest of the house is in good shape.
So do you think there's something wrong with the design that you can't replace wood, or I guess?
I had two builders go in and look at it. One was Scott, I can't remember his last name.
Sims.
Melanie Brown got me in touch with him. He came over and told me that there was nothing wrong with the design. The roof on it is in good shape. Like there's a slanted roof above the bay window. So we did inspect the roof and everything looks good. It's like a metal roof. And he just said the problem with wood is you're going to have the same problem. And I guess it was the way that the water wicks off of the, you know, just that whole system, if you will, the way it's coming down that wall. And so he recommended that I go with AZEC, and then I got another guy in, which was Juan Perez. Both those gentlemen are on your list. And he told me the same thing. If you go with wood, it's just going to rot out again.
So the design itself is not going to change. Is that correct?
Nope. It'll look exactly like it looks right now.
And the scallop shingles, are they being replaced?
No, ma'am. They're fine.
Okay.
It's just is it 6 panels? Am I looking at that correctly?
Well, it's the panels, but it's also I don't know if molding, I think is the right word, because I was using the word trim. If I understand it correctly, the molding is also being replaced. So the molding is bad, and the sheathing, if you will, is bad. And it's extensive. Like both the builders said there wasn't really a design problem. It's just the nature of like that bay window that it really, if you put wood back on it, it only lasted 8 years because that house was redone in 16. So
when you say the molding, are you also talking about the sill
you know, like
that runs under
no,
the
the sills are in good shape.
Okay.
The big thick sills are great.
Okay.
I don't have any damage in the sills, but the molding that defines each of those fascia planes, if you will, those are all rotted out. So that's got to be replaced.
The serving as he's talking about.
Yeah,
The blue and then the white,
correct.
Trim.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Any other questions? Does someone want to make a motion?
I do have one more question. You said in 2016, when they repaired it with wood, was it wood there before? Do you know?
I have no idea. That was Jane's house. I don't know if you guys knew her or not. But actually, I don't think she owned it in 16 now that I think about it. Because I think I've talked to the neighbors and they were telling me, I don't know if she was there then or not. So the answer is I'm not sure. That's a really good question. Obviously, I never met her either. But I don't know. I just know that the house was revised or whatever in 16, and so in general the house is in really good condition. But for some reason that bay window is not holding up, and so both the builders recommended AZEK and just said if you're going to put wood back up, you're going to end up with the same problem. So I don't know what that's all about, but so I don't know the history in 16, and maybe it wasn't done in 16. Maybe it was before that. I don't know.
And when you replace it, are you going to replace it with whiteboard and then paint it to match the rest of the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, it's going to. If you look at it right now, it's going to be painted exactly like it is now.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I was adamant about when I bought the house was I really like the look of the house is terrific. So I did not want to change anything. So as far as the visual of it, it's going to look exactly like it does now.
So one
We'll be
clarification.
painted in the exact same colors.
Clarification on when it was redone. Are we talking about the siding on the house was redone? Or just the,
I'd have to go back and look at the listing that Melanie Brown had. I don't know for sure. Actually, I don't think Melanie was the seller's. She was my realtor. I don't know. I'd have to look back on that. That's a good question.
I feel that they're just replacing wood with composite, but the look is identical.
Yeah, I believe that we should approve this because it is, there's something flawed about that, for that wood to rot like that, whether it's the design or the angle of the house or whatever. It's still an unusual circumstance.
And since the rest of the house is already composite,
Yeah,
it makes sense to use the same material.
so I move to approve.
You make a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved, sir.
Very good. I was going to say, I take it I don't get a vote in this city. No, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'm excited to be in town, so I'll make sure it is done correctly. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a great evening. Yep, bye-bye.
I mean, it's probably the way the wind and the sun hits it.
Did we just hit call?
Okay, next.
We've got to call this number in.
Okay, the next one is 128 Peach Street. Mr. Baker.
Where's my?
I'm sorry, you entered it.
This is just the railing, correct?
Hello?
Mr. Baker,
Hi.
this is Cape Charles Historic
Hi.
Review Board. How are you?
Very good. I'm here with my wife on speakerphone.
Okay, great, thank you. This is for 128 Peach Street, the owner,
Yeah.
Richard Baker, and the work to be performed is they're seeking to remove the existing front porch wood-turned balustrades and front step-turned balustrades on the two-story single-family home and replace with vinyl-turned balustrades. They're not replacing anything else. They are not replacing the columns. It's just the balustrades.
Yeah,
And
they are not replacing the columns, correct.
we also have on page 2, the National Park Service diagram, parts of a porch. And I have the materials list for you. This is legal conforming use. I have laid out the historic district overlay design guidelines for you also. And the applicant is on the phone if you have any more questions.
And the railing will be the same height.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the current, it's on our porch, we have rotten railings going around the porch and as well as going down the steps. So they're going to be replaced with the same height. And yes, so we're just going to replace the rotten stuff with the new materials.
And the new material is composite.
Yes.
Any questions?
I was wondering why you can't retain the wood. Why can't you use wood as a replacement? Like what was there?
It's just for like from our perspective, I don't want to have to paint it every other year or so. So it's for durability reasons. That's really the only reason.
The composite is an allowable material. And from the design, it's very similar, not identical, but similar in style.
The floor is also a composite too. I think it's,
Yes.
Yeah, the existing floor won't be changed, but it is a composite material. It's like a gray composite.
Okay. Anyone have any concerns or objections? No? Would we like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the application for the railing repair.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved, sir.
Excuse
All
me.
right, thank you very much
This was
for letting us
replacement,
call
not
in.
repair.
Wait 1 minute, sir.
Sorry, replacement, sorry.
Sure.
Tracy, did you have a question?
No, it was for replacement, not repair.
Correct, replacement. Nope, that's it, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Did I say?
No, that was my fault.
Oh.
Did you want to try it? Ideas down here, they said the concrete.
Here we go. That's the contractor.
I'm sorry.
920-6591. And this is
They told me.
Mitchell Holmes, this is Gary.
Hi, Mr. Fink.
Yes,
This is the Historic District Review Board from Cape Charles,
yes,
calling regarding the house on Randolph Avenue, Lot 584.
Okay, this next application is for Lot 584 on Randolph Avenue with the tax map number of 83A3-1-584. The applicant is Mitchell Homes, and they're representing the owner, John Lucas. So the applicant is seeking to construct a new 1,120 square feet, two-story family residence with a 28 by 8 feet front porch and a 4 by 2.5 side stoop and a 12 by 12 rear deck. The application also includes the installation of a 52 square feet front concrete walkway. And then we did put, although this lot is currently vacant, new construction should be compatible, sympathetic, and complementary to existing buildings. If you page 2, we have listed all the materials that were given. And our staff analysis that this project is seeking to construct a 2-story family residence with a front porch and a side stoop and a rear deck, and the installation of a front walkway. The proposed materials are in conformance with the zoning ordinance for new construction, and zoning compliance is achieved based upon the application to the HDRB. However, the prevailing setback has not been confirmed, and the site plan needs to be amended on several minor points relative to including the required language concerning the CBPA and the RPA and RMA. It's fine for the historic district to review. The next is the historic district overlay design guidelines. And as you know, Mr. Fink, representing the applicant or the owner, is on the phone if you have any questions.
So, Mr. Fink, I have a question. On the foundation, you list brick veneer front, parged block sides.
Correct.
Okay. I don't believe veneer is an authorized material in the historic district. That it
Well,
should
I've
be
utilized
full
it
brick.
there before.
Pardon?
Yeah.
I'm here with Gary. This is Freddie Vincent. I also work with Mitchell Homes. When you say brick veneer, the brick that we're using is a full 4-inch brick. It's not a, there are products out there called like a Z brick, a fake brick, per se, and we don't actually use those products. We use a full 4-inch brick.
Okay, so it's not a veneer.
No, well, veneer has different, when we say veneer, some people think veneer as a fake brick. Some people think veneer is just a finishing on top of the block. Some view veneer as a frontage of a different product, whether it's stone, brick, or whatever it may be. But all of our brick veneer is actually a full brick. It's not a fake brick, if you will.
Okay,
It's the real thing.
thank you.
And so this real brick is going to be put on the steps and on the column?
It's going to be on when you're looking at the plan, it's going to be on the front of the foundation. It's going to be on the piers that support the front porch, along with steps.
But it's not a veneer, it's a full brick.
That's correct.
You can see that on the front.
I saw the picture, but it was hard to tell. Let's see. You're using vinyl siding.
That's correct. It's a little bit different than your typical vinyl siding. The industry requires a 0.36 thickness of vinyl siding, which is what a lot of companies use. And that's what you buy at your product stores. In this particular instance, the buyer chose a different type of siding. It's actually it's a much thicker. It's a 0.46 thickness of vinyl siding, which is much thicker. A little bit more higher quality vinyl siding, if you will.
Well, the .46 is required for the historic district.
Okay, then, okay, good. Just want to make sure you guys were aware of that.
And what is the width? Because we don't really have dimensions, the actual width of the siding.
Yeah, I believe they did the 5-inch, didn't they, Gary? I believe it was the 5-inch.
I saw the picture, but it doesn't give dimensions.
Yeah.
We're getting a sample there real quick.
Okay.
It just says upgraded vinyl siding.
Mhm. Mark's not here for the windows.
I think so. Does anyone have any more questions while they're looking up that question?
You wanna?
I don't know, you've asked all the questions.
There is a question on the window. Our resident expert is not here right now, but the requirement is that you have the sill be 1 3/4, I believe, is that what it was? The sill must overhang a little bit. If you look at most of the windows in the historic district, they have a profile where the bottom sill overhangs enough to make a shadow.
Well, just to conclude on the siding, it's 5-inch,
5-inch.
okay? With your .46 millage.
The window sill minimum thickness should be 1.5 inches.
That's
And-
right, we did a 2-inch fill.
Okay, and the window casing should be a minimum thickness of 3.5 inches.
Yeah, we did 4-inch on the sides, and we did 6-inch on the top.
Okay. Perfect.
trim
Thank
work.
you. Any other questions? Sorry. Anyone have any other questions? Marty? No? And I actually had to look up the roofing material. The dimensional fiberglass is a type of architectural shingle.
That's correct. Made by Certainty.
Is it 312 pitch, is that correct?
That is on your front porch.
On the porch, okay.
Yeah, the actual house on the front gable is you can see this house is kind of unique. Yeah.
Okay. No other questions? Oh. Can we make a motion?
I make a motion to accept the application and the specifications.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir. Approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And anything else we need to do on our end?
Zoning, do you have any?
We've already provided them the staff report, so they're aware of the zoning corrections that need to happen on the site plan.
Okay, did you hear that?
Is that with the site plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's on the staff
Yep,
report.
Yep, got you. I think that was in the notes I had. Yep, we're on the same page.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay,
They're my neighbors. Will be my neighbors.
This is Catherine.
Okay. And this is This one is. Another new house.
Contractor's also here, but she.
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Miss Wagner.
Oh, yes, this is Katie.
The Historic District Review Board. Sorry, I'm not.
How are you this evening? Good. Yeah, right. Well, I assume he's around somewhere if you're using his phone.
Oh, this is the phone for the
Civic Center.
Civic
The
Center.
meeting.
So,
Okay, all right, great.
So this
Well, thank you
is
for calling.
the Historic District Review Board. And I'll let Tracy
Okay.
read the application.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is for Lot 418 on Monroe Avenue with the tax map number of 83A3-1-418. The owners are Katie, Austin, and Lauren Wagner, and they'll be represented by their contractor, Bill Dowdy. And the applicant is seeking to construct a new 1,218 square feet, two-story, single-family residence with a 28 by 8 front porch and a 16 by 12 rear screened-in porch, a 6 by 8 covered rear deck, and a 5 by 7 enclosed rear outdoor shower. Although this lot is currently vacant, new construction should be compatible, sympathetic, and complementary to existing buildings. As with the others, I have all the materials listed that were given. And as you can see for the windows, you can see where when they gave me the sills, I put that in there for you. The staff analysis, the proposed project is seeking to construct a two-story single-family residence with a front porch, a rear screened-in porch, a covered rear deck, and a enclosed rear outdoor shower. The proposed materials are in conformance with the zoning ordinance for new construction, and zoning compliance is achieved based upon the application to the HDRB. However, the site plan needs to be amended on several minor points relative to including the outdoor shower that's listed on the plans and the required language concerning the CBPA and the RPA and RMA. But it is okay for the Historic District Review Board to review. The Historic District Overlay Design Guidelines are listed for you. And as I said before, the applicant is on the phone and their representative is here also.
Okay. And I believe zoning will confirm the setbacks.
Good evening.
Can you give us your name, sir?
My name is Bill Dowdy. I'm the owner of Village Builders representing Katie, Austin, and Lauren.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you explain the chimney to me? That's like really sticks out. So.
Yep. Katie wanted a wood-burning fireplace, and in order to achieve that, there needs to be a flue that comes out of the roof and must be so many inches above the ridge line by code. Katie has chosen a installer to do the install if the proposed drawings go through.
So it's not something that can be covered? I mean, it has to, I guess, I don't see any other chimneys like that around here.
It could get covered. It would have to have some airspace around it, which means it would have to be a nominal size larger than what the flue pipe itself is. And the material itself would have to be some sort of like cement board or something of that nature that would be fire resistant.
I think typically, I assume that has to be some wood-burning stoves in town somewhere, but this is the typical, fireproof, hardy material that the chimneys are made out of, flues. So having it come up through the roof rather than coming out the side of the house and up allows less of the steel piping to be visible from the outside. But it's like a regular chimney in that it does need to go up a certain height based on the pitch of the roof.
I don't believe there are any wood-burning stoves in town. So this is something new.
Okay.
Bill, do you know which side of the house that is on? Is that on the side, the pump house side, or is that on the other?
Yeah,
It's on the other side.
Least visible side of the house would be on the east side,
Okay.
on the existing neighbor side.
Actually, I think there were wood-burning stoves in the house I now have, but it went out the
The
side.
side. Okay.
Typically, what you would see in a historic house is you would see a brick chimney. In this
Right.
application, in order to do that, you would need to vent it out through the wall, the exterior wall, and then run the brick chimney up to the same distance as shown on the elevation. To
And
meet.
that's, I think, why it sticks out, because
Yeah, because what
it's very
the
different.
reason why code wants it to be above the ridge line is when the wind blows, they want
Right.
the embers to leave the structure. They don't want it, if it were at say the eave wall where it comes up now, if it was a foot above the eave wall, then that gives a chance for the embers to then land in a gutter or something of that nature. Whereas when they're up higher, they're gonna tend to dissipate very quickly.
I understand the reason for the height. I guess we're just looking at the visual design.
Yeah.
It's new construction.
It is new
The
construction.
homeowner's providing her contractor to do that, but we realize as a turnkey type deal that this needs to get approved at this stage. So we're providing the interior structure for that contractor to do his work. And on the inside of the house where that is, so if you were to cover this chimney pipe with something, on the inside, we're using drywall, fireproof sheetrock. On the outside, obviously, you can't use drywall because it would just fall apart. So the suggestion there would be is if it needs to be covered and we need to build some sort of structure around it, my suggestion would be it being like hardy plank or something of that nature. Then you got to get into supporting it and that type of stuff.
Yeah, my chimney is, I have an old brick chimney, and clearly some regulations had changed, and you can see where they added
Yes.
brick to the top.
Yep.
And I've got a brace on it.
It's a safety thing at this point. Yep.
Okay. It is new construction.
Yeah, I was
So,
just saying
yeah.
fitting in with
No, I
everything
agree.
else. It's different.
I think the homeowner could probably, one thing that may ease your thought would be the homeowner may be able to ask the contractor to paint the flue a certain color. If you chose gray,
So
if she
it's not
chose a
gray
gray,
shiny.
if she chose a gray shingle, yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm sure that heat treated, it could be painted some color because by the time that exhaust gas gets to that point, it's probably not going to be remotely close to the temperature as it was on the first floor where the fireplace is going to be. And it's not a full fireplace. It's going to be just like a standalone, like a pot stove or something of that nature.
I agree with the idea of painting it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it would be that obvious, but, I mean, over time, will it turn? You may not know the answer to that. But
That would have to be a question for the fireplace installer. I guess in my professional opinion is that what's the worst case scenario is that they have to go back up there and paint it again. I think it will depend on how much they use it. The material that he spec'd that I saw is stainless steel, So stainless steel is not going to rust.
Right.
Be the same similar products that they use on ships and boats and stuff like that, so you don't have rusting capabilities.
I would assume that it's going to weather at some point. It's not going to be as bright initially as it would be over time. But anyways, yeah, I'm sure at this point it sounds like this is a different kind of construction that you've been seeing in Cape Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not seen any others.
Right.
Are there any other questions on materials? The vinyl, the thickness of the vinyl.
0.46.
So I was looking at the design, and maybe I'm looking at it incorrectly, but the shower sticks out past the pump house, right? The outdoor shower.
Right.
It sticks out where it's going to be visible, correct, from the road?
Yes,
From
I
the
guess it would be.
Yeah.
Is that, okay. No, that is true. Is that not an appropriate spot for it?
Well, I think it's just not so much the spot as the idea that you can cover it or plant a bush or something, right? If I got that right, Kathy?
Here comes Tracy with the book.
9-7 in front of me, is that?
It's number 1. On this page.
I will make this comment. I don't know if this is a good answer, but I know we're probably required to do some planting on the lot based on your requirements. But one of the first things I think we are going to plant with permission to the town is a tree at the corner there by the shower, so that it would provide some screening for us, but then also from the side street as to where the shower is.
The guidelines read that it should be placed at the rear of the building and out of view from the public right-of-way to the maximum extent possible. I mean, based on the design, I don't think you really could, because of the way the lot runs.
Right.
And a typical prevailing.
Right, they're really,
A typical prevailing front setback in Cape Charles is not, I mean, in my opinion, from what I've dealt with, this is really close to that, but it is a little more extreme than what I've seen in the past, 14 feet. So she's right at, I mean, she's aligning with the other neighbor if she pushes her house forward to accommodate something of the nature of the shower. I think that creates more of more of a hardship that,
Yeah,
I think,
using the floor footprint, there's no way
yeah.
to not have it be seen from the side street.
And I think placement there
Right.
gives them a little bit more on landscaping. They have to plant, 2 trees anyway, so they could, as part of their landscaping plan, they could plant an additional bush or
And-
grass or something of that
that would-
nature.
Solve that.
Is there going to be a fence? No.
No, the pump house has a small fence around it currently, and I think it's noted there, the rail fence. It's made out of wood, white wood.
And
around the pump house?
Yeah, around the pump house.
It
So
doesn't offer
Right.
any privacy.
she could plant a bush there at the corner to create some sort of natural diversion.
Yeah,
Lack
I
of
think
better
that would,
terms.
that would cover it.
Yeah.
It would.
good with that, Katie?
Yeah, at this point, with the way the floor plan is on the first floor, the screened-in porch, naturally needs to go on the side of the house that it is, and it leaves us with the east corner? I still haven't gotten on the west corner. But I do plan on doing, significant landscaping as far as bushes and trees and garden beds. So I would say that, whatever is exposed at this point in time would be perhaps not 100% covered up from the side street, but it will be softened a lot by what we're planning on planting. And I know that we are at some point in time going to consider putting some fencing up and a shed and some other things, but we want to see the house on the property first so that we can make good decisions on where to place other things. And obviously that would all go through zoning when the time comes, and get approval before we do anything. But it's a little more difficult for us to make, those kind of decisions until the house is on site.
And what is the material of the shower?
We were going to use pressure-treated wood, but I was also considering cedar. I mean, does that make a difference?
No, they just need to
wood.
know whether it's going to be wood.
Okay.
composite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think as long as you try to maximize the extent as possible that it's, not sticking out there for public view.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions on materials?
So did we come to a conclusion with the chimney that if it's darker, that it wouldn't be so, I hate to use the word obtrusive, but
Obvious.
Right.
that's better. Are you good with that, it being a darker
Being painted.
paint?
Oh,
Yes.
if it, I'll talk to the installer tomorrow and find out what could be done to either paint it or dull it. Put some kind of finish on it so that it's not as obvious. It is fortunately on the neighboring side of the lot, so it's farther away from the corner. But I do understand what you're saying as far as trying to darken it so that it blends a little bit better.
Okay.
And there may be a different material too that they can use. I mean, I have no idea. But that has no sheen.
I would say,
It's
as long as you use a material that is not shiny.
okay.
And I think it obviously
Well,
stands out, but I don't see anything in the guidelines about chimney construction on new buildings. There's language about construction on additions to existing buildings. In that, even what might be related, metal flue should only be exposed above the eaves of the roof. Weatherboard siding is not appropriate for chimneys, because that is on additions to existing structures.
I think one of the things that
Right.
I will point out is that along Monroe, there is a beautiful tree. I'm not an arborist by any means, but that tree will mainly cover the front facade of the house.
tree that you're talking
You won't,
yeah.
you'll have a hard time seeing the actual roof line of the house. I can't say what wintertime will give you, but, because I don't know the make and model of the tree,
Yeah,
but
it's some kind of maple, I think.
yeah, it's in the VDOT right away, so it's not, it's in no way and form of intrusion on our construction.
So do we want to put stipulations?
I would just like to put a stipulation, not just on the shininess of it, that nothing else in that area or in the historic has that.
Yep.
And I don't think that, based on what Marty said, that we should prohibit it. I don't want to do that. I just want to tone it down.
Have it be harmonious with
Right.
what everything else is around. Yep.
All right, I'm looking at the, what is it, page 5-33, where it talks about new chimneys, and I had looked at that, when we were putting our plans together. And a gentleman just referenced that. I'm not sure who was speaking, but it does say metal flues should only be exposed above the eaves of the roof. So it was a small description of what we're allowed to do. So it is going to be metal. It is shiny. So if you can put a stipulation that we're going to try to tone it down, if it can be painted, we'll do that. But
Yeah,
what if there's an issue and it can't be painted?
Then maybe looking at the material used to make it, is there a material that is less shiny?
Yeah, see, it's a stainless steel, which, obviously can withhold or withstand, hundreds of degrees of temperature. So it's a special metal, for fireplaces.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
Katie-
at least double insulated.
Yes.
It's probably not.
Yes.
hot to the touch
Once
there.
it goes through the roof.
Yeah, that's true.
Katie, once it goes through the roof, the stipulation of the code's gonna change once it's outside of the house. So the contractor should be able to do something to dull it down a little bit, because the material of
Okay.
the pipe should be able to change once it goes out.
Yes.
Because code for exhaust, once it gets above the finished space of the house, then the code actually
Right.
changes. So I'm not an expert on it, but I've done enough houses and I have done this type of application before. And they do allow you to put you can put a box around it, but,
Yeah, and I'm not asking you to do a
I
box,
think you just
but I
should be
was-
able to dull it down to some
Yeah.
degree.
Okay, no, that all sounds great, and I appreciate your comments and your, willingness to let us try to do something with the finish on the flue. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the construction of the new house at Lot 418 on Monroe,
With this,
with the stipulation that the chimney flue or pipe is dulled in some way.
How about to treat the chimney flue to some color appearance that is a darker look other than a stainless steel finish, i.e. shiny?
Yes,
that,
perfect.
What she said.
and if she can't,
I think she can.
okay.
And,
Did you hear that?
and also, if you had
What?
anything on the rear shower, you might want to put that in the conditions also.
Yes, I guess the best way to say this, and Katie, the other Katie, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Anything regarding the shower, if there's a way to minimize or maximize to the possible extent view from the public right away via
Okay.
landscaping.
Right.
fence.
So to provide a landscaping plan or other buffer screening that would shield from view the shower from the side street.
Yes,
Yeah, that's fine.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so you'll continue on, and I'm done for the evening?
Yes, thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your consideration. Good night.
Good night. I thought I turned it off, but I guess I didn't. Okay.
Okay. Our last item of the evening is my monthly staff report. So we did approve 5 exemptions over the last month since we last saw you. So if you have any questions of those, I'll do my best to answer those as best as I can recall them now. I have great news to tell you on the notice of violation progress of 1 Fig Street. Today, a building permit was applied for, and I think they were just waiting on final payment coming in. You'll probably see work starting sometime this week. Yay! That is great news, I have to tell you.
Yes.
So, we did want to give you the update on the 1 notice of violation that we had issued under the Historic District Review Board's behalf on 204 Bay Avenue. This went to a hearing before the Board of Zoning Appeals last week. The Board of Zoning Appeals overturned the decision that I issued on that violation. I am preparing a staff report for the town manager on this, so as soon as I have that completed, I will provide that to the full board as well on the implications of that decision from the BZA. And that's all I have.
Make a
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
A second?
all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.